Hello and welcome to the show. I tell you what, productions are really beautiful. I know they are. Listen, I want to thank you for joining the show today. We've got a lot planned for you. We've got a great show planned. This is the whole year, the Power of Now series. And I've been talking about that from the beginning of January till now. If you're going to do something, now is the time to do it. And so we're celebrating mothers this year with our Miracle Mothers series. And today's guests are Miss Shanine Bonner and Miss Christina Thomas. So I just want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy because it's coming up next. The Curry Insurance Agency has served the community for over 30 years with hundreds of trained representatives to assist you in selecting health plans. Curry Insurance Agency is the largest marketing insurance group in the state of South Carolina for Medicare Advantage and represents all major health carriers. Curry's motto is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Call the Curry Agency today at 803-536-0889. The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com. Welcome back to the show. I told you we've got a great show planned for you. We always start out with our poet, our resident poet, Poetic Angel, and Miss Angel Howell. Well, today Angel's not going to be with us. However, she did send us something very special. So just wait until you hear it. It's coming up next.
So I stand here before you dressed from head to toe. And don't I look good, huh? Girl, I know. And I bet you think I'm so very successful too. And this can be true, or I can cringe when the bills come due. Now, I am not professing to be in the valley or on a mountaintop looking low. What I'm saying is, there's a lot about me you just don't know. But from the moment you met me, you read me from left to right. But what you've been reading, it doesn't tell you about my plight. I laugh, I cry, I experience pain. But you have summed me up before even knowing my full name. Now, judging is what we women do best. Not realizing we all go through tests. Trials and tribulation, that's the fact. Let's stop judging. Let's pat each other on the back. We're sisters, daughters, some of us even mothers. It's time for us to start encouraging one another. So let's stop judging and just be a friend. It's time for the hatefulness to end. Poetic Angel.
All right, Miss Poetic Angel. I tell you what, Angel is always on point. I'm telling you, we are sisters, and that's what it's all about. And so today, as I said, we've got a great show planned for you. We're going to be talking with a special woman. Now, she's a Grammy considered gospel artist. She has her single, Great God, and it's made it on the Billboard gospel charts. She's a mother of three. She's a grandmother of four. And I tell you, she is special. And so I want to introduce you to Miss Shanine Bonner. Come on out, Shanine.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, beautiful?
Good. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. How was your Mother's Day?
It was really good. It was really good.
That's wonderful. I know you had a house full, right?
Yeah.
Well, listen, opened up about you being a gospel artist. So kind of talk to us about that. And then we're going to move into motherhood.
I actually I started off a long time ago singing. My mom used to sit me on her lap back in the day. I'd be singing Minnie Riperton to her back down memory lane. And, and so I just became at the age of 24. I said, Lord, I surrender. I gave the Lord my life. And from actually, I just started doing the gospel music in 2020. So that's how that came about.
Wow. So now, when you did the gospel, because we have a clip, and I'd like to show that as well. When you decided to do this, to be a gospel artist, what was your inspiration for doing that?
Well, you know what? When I got here to California, I was homeless. So, the inspiration was behind that is that, I have to know that God is a great God. And I have to know that my other single called Praise, I have to know that I have to have a praise in my mouth in order to, get along of what happened to me for 5 years of being homeless in Los Angeles, California. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. And so when you came to California, because you're not from California,
No.
you're from Detroit, right? Is it
Flint, Michigan.
Flint, Michigan? That's right, Flint, Michigan. And so when you came to LA, did you know anybody?
No. I had a cousin here, but no. Um, so, and I had actually a broadcast that I had a radio broadcast here in LA that I do from Michigan. And so a lady used to call me all the time for prayer. And so when the Lord told me to come here to California, I'm like, I don't know anybody. And so the lady told me, the Lord just laid on my heart to call this lady and tell this lady my situation. So I called her and told her, and she said, my son is on his way to pick you up.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Won't he do it?
All the
Wow.
time.
So let's show that clip, you all, the producers.
You open blinded eyes. You raised them from the dead. 5,000 hungry souls he fed. 5,000 hungry souls he fed. Heaven is your throne. Earth is your footstool. The angels in heaven sing hallelujah. What a great God we serve. A great God we serve.
Wow. Wow. I tell you what, that's beautiful. What a great God we serve, and that's so true. If everybody would just realize that, what a great God we serve.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So now let's talk about motherhood, because you said you came to LA, you left Flint, Michigan. Did you have your children at the time with you?
No, I didn't, because my children at the time were young adults, grown adults. I became a mother at the age of 17. And by the age of 21, I had 3 kids. They all have the same father. I always put that out there. but I was a mother of 3 by the age of 21. And so I became a mother at a very young age. And so it was a hard experience, but it was a blessed experience, because the Lord allowed me to raise my children, and I raised them I was not on welfare. I worked, and I owned my own business. So my kids went to private schools. They did not go to public schools, and I tried to do the best by them. Even though being young, I still needed to let these girls know that they had somebody they can look up to.
That's right. And so what was your favorite part about being a mother?
My favorite part is, because I had 3 daughters, and it may sound so crazy. I'm just like, you know what? I got 3 Barbie dolls that I can, but I loved being a mother. It's just knowing that I had 3 individuals that I can love, and three individuals that will love me back. So I love being a mother.
Wow. Well, since you love being a mother, I want to hear about these three daughters. Tell us a little bit about each daughter and what makes that daughter special.
Well, my oldest daughter, she'll be 33 years old. She has the most, that her heart is so kind. Um, I call her my gentle giant. She is so, I mean, she just so sweet. She's a postal worker here in LA, and she just really sweet. My middle daughter, that is like the lady that's solid. She makes sure everything about me is together. Mom, we got to make sure that your hair is together. You got to make sure your clothes together. You got an image, so she is on me. She was, right before this started, she fixing my hair and everything. So, and my youngest daughter, my middle daughter, she's a Christian coach. So she teaches Christian women how to, business women, how to increase within their business. And my youngest daughter, she is like my firecracker. She's like, that's my protector. That's the one that you better not say that about my mother. And she works for GM. So wow. God has blessed me with three daughters with three different careers, but three booming careers.
That is wonderful. So, like we say, we did something right. If they make more money than us, we did something right. You know what I'm saying? And so, so what have you learned from your daughters?
I learned patience from my daughters. I've learned just how to be more open and, just learn how to just be a little free, because they'll tell me, okay, Mom, you're a little uptight, and so I just learn in fashion, because I have my own style. And my daughter was like, okay, you got a young son, you can't be looking all old, so your music is young, but you old,
Oh my goodness. Wow. But they keep it real. See, that's the one thing I love about our children, now. They keep it real, especially the younger ones. They're going to tell it like it is. They're just going to be like, okay, Mom, you're getting old now. But you still look good. They can't tell how old you are. You look good. And you do look good. So yet the way you are so fashioned today with that wonderful hat and all, you really look fabulous.
Oh, they keep me together. My middle daughter, she keep no. Oh, now I just asked, like, Andre, what hat should I put on?
Yeah. So what is, when you think about the challenges of motherhood, what has been the most challenging period of motherhood for you? And how did you deal with it?
The most challenging part is not trying to lump my daughters into one. All of them have three different personalities. And at first I started to just lump all three of them together, and I had to really realize that there are three different individuals with three different mindsets and different things. So that was like the biggest challenge for me. And they probably would say something different, but but that was like the biggest challenge. And then being a young mother too, and their father passed away a year later after our youngest daughter was born. It was, we were young parents. He died at the age of 21, and so I had to learn as I was going.
And so as you were learning, I mean, what did you learn? And I want to ask you about your mother, kind of talk about your mother and what you learned from her that helped you as you were raising your children.
What I learned from my mom was kind of strict. You have to be in before the street light come on. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And, and I kind of passed that value down to my children. My kids, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am, to me too, So, and my mother was just, my mother was just a wonderful person. She passed away 13 years ago of breast cancer, but she really installed hard work. Don't depend on nobody else. If you want something, you go and get it. And I used to do affirmations with my children in the morning before I I dropped them off at school. I was always tell them, you are a champion. No one is better than you. You know, I just went through
Oh,
this
wow.
whole thing. Yeah, as a kid. And, you know, my youngest daughter just being mom. Yeah, I'm a champion. Yeah, you know. But it worked to this day. So I did a lot of affirmations with my children. My mom did it with me. You know, she'd sit me on the stool. Ain't nobody better than you. You can do it. Ain't nobody prettier than you. You know, she'd say, tell all of us that. So and I
That's
just
right.
pass that along with my children with the affirmations.
Wow. And you know, words are so powerful. And
Yes.
so by you doing that every morning, look at where it has brought them and it have
Yes.
brought you, you know, where it's brought you as well. You know, what is your most memorable time that you can share, a memory of your mother?
You know, just we would take every Saturday we would go to Detroit to go shopping. And so I had to go take her to go get her suit so she can have a new suit for Sunday. And but that quality time that I had with her like that meant a lot to me. And just like going, you know, to her house and cooking with her. And
Hmm.
yeah, and my mother was like a comedian, you know, she would have you laughing. And you know, so I really truly, and my siblings and I, we really talk about that a lot. I really truly miss her, you know. So she was a big influence in my life. You know, me as being a young mother, she made sure that she was there for me. You know,
Hmm.
as being a young preacher, she made sure she came to my events. She was just there for me.
Wow, you know what? And that's what mothers do. I mean, we hope most mothers do that because they're there for their children. And so as I'm thinking about this, you know, a quote. What quote did your mother always say?
Wow, did she ever have a quote? Oh shoot, I don't remember if she ever. Uh, oh yeah, she had this one. Disobedient children won't last long on the earth.
Oh,
I gave my kids that same thing, that same quote. You know, I know it was Ephesians 6:1. So,
all right.
but
She
yeah,
said disobedient children won't last long
yeah,
on this earth.
yeah. So that's your way of saying, all right.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna
You
lay
know.
you down. You remember those times, I tell you
Yeah.
what. And so talking about being the gospel artist and motherhood, work-life balance, you know, even now for you having grandchildren, what does your work-life balance look like?
You know what? It is really, truly hard to balance both of this stuff. So that's why I thank God for my children helping me out. Because I work, and then on top of that, you know, I tell my coworkers I have a second job. It's called music, you know, and so I this I'm trying to like bring the balance to it, and I'm really trying to still figure out how to balance this together because I sometimes I feel like, oh man, I'm so overwhelmed. But the balance is knowing that I have somebody and some my children to actually just to help me with this.
Hmm.
They carry the torch. I just did a music video last week, and you would have thought that I was Karen Clark Shear High. They was fixing me up and doing all
Uh,
this stuff. So yeah, so my work balance and I mean my work and the music, I have beautiful children to help me to balance that off.
wow. So they're part of the business. I mean, you
Yeah,
what can you know, you can't ask for anything more. They're a part of the business. They're right there with you, making
yes,
sure that you're taken care of and that nobody's going to bother you, harm you in any way. You know, especially when it comes to music, being a gospel artist and recording, because that's important when you're out there, you know, finding producers and looking for people. How do you maneuver or how do you figure out who needs to be in your circle?
well the producer I met a producer. His name is Willie Lattimore, and it's just like we just like gelled, you know. When I went into the studio, you know, he was like, "Let me just hear the song," you know, since I write, I would just, you know, just singing to him like, what a great God we serve. Got on the keyboards. Next thing you know, about 2 days later, I had the whole song.
Wow.
And then we went to a list producer to produce it. He produced like a lot of rap people and different other stuff. So I knew it was kind of a hit when I heard him in the hallway. He stepped out to talk on the telephone, and I'm hearing him in the hallway saying, "What a great God we serve." And I was just like, when he came back in, he pointed to him. He said, "That's a hit, Shanine."
Well, listen, that beautiful voice, because you just said something, and I was thinking about it, talking about gospel music, but I'm gonna go back to the R&B. When you said Minnie Riperton, "Loving You," I heard it when you started singing "Great God," the tone.
Yes, I would be. I'm 8, 9, loving you. You know.
Come on now.
Back down memory lane.
Yeah. You can tell you sounded you got that sound. And so I want to ask you though, being a young mother, what advice would you give to new mothers that are watching, or to a young mother? Because as you said, you were 21 years old.
Yeah, but I had 3
I
kids.
had 3 children by 21.
Yes, and I would tell, and I just actually wrote a post on Facebook about this. You know, I would say to the younger women, do not give up, because your past does not determine your future. So what you started off is not how you can end at. And so I had people tell me, "You're not gonna make it. You got so many kids," and I was just so determined to say, "Oh, I will make it, and these kids gonna be okay too." So I would just tell the younger mothers, don't give up. It may seem like it's so hard, but do not give up. This is not your final destination. It's just your beginning.
Just your beginning. And being a pastor, what are some of the things that you share with your young people about life, and about, we're talking about motherhood, but in life in general?
Yeah. I mean, and I tell my testimony to them, because sometimes younger people don't think you know what you haven't been what I've been through. I'm just like, wrote a book, got a t-shirt about it. And so I just tell them, to stay focused. Don't let the distractions take you away from your destiny. And so, and I've gotten a lot of you don't know. One time I did jail ministry, and I was up there talking. I was telling the ladies, I said I was 17, I had my first one. I was in high school, had my second one at 19, had my third one at 21. And, I said it was hard. I had a business at that time in Michigan. So one of the ladies came up to me. She said, "We have the same story, but it's just a different outcome."
Wow. Wow. So, a lot of times people need to hear your stories. And that's why I'm glad that you're on the Tammy Show to really share your story. And, I always ask everyone, not only the advice, but what is the takeaway that you want any viewer to take away from this interview?
Never give up. It may seem like I said, may seem hard, but just know that God got your back and he will not let you fall. And I am a living witness. You may be cast down, but you won't be cast out.
Cast down, but not cast out. Wow. So what's next?
I just opened a record label. It's called Decree Records, and it will be launched next month. I'm in a movie called Where Is My Daughter, and going back to the studio to do more work. I'm almost at the edge of getting my Spotify plaque for my song Praise, and we're working for this, to make it get this gold record. So I'm just trying to stay focused and do what God has called for me to do.
Wow. And so how can people get in touch with you?
They can reach me at my website at www.shanincbonner.com. You can reach me. I'm on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and that, I'm always there, so they can reach me on those platforms.
So I'm looking forward to the new album and the new music that you're coming out with, and all that you're doing with your new label.
Oh,
and then you're
you.
acting on top of that. So you've got to
Yes.
keep us posted about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I am loving it. Well, Shanine, you have there is one last question that I always ask my viewers. 3 words that describe you.
3 words that describe me. Nice, friendly, and loyal.
Nice, friendly, and loyal. Wow. Now that, and I can tell that when we first talked on the phone, I can feel that. And you're also a prophet, but we didn't talk about that. That's another show. That's a whole nother show. I'll have you come back on, because see, you've got some exciting news to share with us, and I'd love for you to come back on and share that news with us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Wow, Shanine, it was great having you on the show. I tell you what, may God continue to bless you. And thank you for gracing our show with your presence.
Thank you for having me, Tammy. And can I do a shout out to Shrilltown, because he introduced us.
Yeah, so, that's right. That's right.
Just give a shout out to him.
That's right.
So much for having me. This was I really enjoyed myself.
Well, I enjoyed having you on the show, and again, like you say, we got to thank Shrilltown because he really put us together. And I thank you again. I thank you for taking time, because you're in LA, different time zone, and so we appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you so much.
All right, Shanine, take care of yourself. God bless you.
God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
You too now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, I tell you what, that's Shanine Bonner, gospel artist. I mean, she's a Grammy considered gospel artist. Next she's working towards gold. But she's a beautiful mother. And we had a great conversation. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I tell you what, she talked about the fact that her 3 words were nice, friendly, and loyal. And so again, I want to thank Shanine. I also want to thank Poetic Angel, our resident poet, for being on the show. We're coming back because you're going to meet a very special lady. And when I tell you she's very special, she is very special, because she has blessed me more than she will ever know. So we'll be right back. The Curry Insurance Agency has served the community for over 30 years with hundreds of trained representatives to assist you in selecting health plans. Curry Insurance Agency is the largest marketing insurance group in the state of South Carolina for Medicare Advantage and represents all major health carriers. Curry's motto is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Call the Curry Agency today at 803-536-0889. The Cecil Williams South Carolina Civil Rights Museum is the Palmetto State's first and only museum. It honors a generation of people, black and white, throughout the state of South Carolina who deserve to be remembered for their unselfish commitments and sacrifices. Enjoy an immersive and entertaining virtual tour. For more information, visit www.cecilwilliams.com. Welcome back to the show. That tribute was to our mothers. I want to thank everybody that have you been sending in your mother's pictures and the one word that makes her special, that describes her character to you. And so we want to thank you for that. Listen, if you're just joining the show, we've had a great show thus far. We talked with Shanine Bonner, gospel artist out in LA. We also had our poetic angel bring us a video, and she shared her beautiful poem. And now you're going to meet a very special lady. And what I can tell you about her is that I saw her on LinkedIn, and then I watched all of her YouTubes. She's a mindset and transformational life coach, a speaker, DMV realtor, attorney, and best-selling author. She's also the mother, I think it's 3, if I'm not correct. We're going to find out in a little bit. Come on out, Miss Christina Thomas. Hey.
There we go.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you? Oh, man, thank you so much for being on the show. I love you. I mean, listen, you have been such a blessing to me with your videos that you post on LinkedIn. And not only that, but just listening to your YouTube channel and all that you share with us, especially your morning motivations. So I want to thank you again.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
You're you celebrity, child. That's all I can say. Best-selling author, all that, and all that. So how was your Mother's Day, Christina?
It was good. We took time to just really, my thing now, what I've been focused on is just really being in and enjoying the moment. Mm-hmm. So that is something that I've struggled with for a while. Okay. So that's why I said I'm working on it. But I really took the time to just be. No matter what happened, no matter, if things weren't going the way that I had planned or I thought it was going to be, I just was and was with my family, and I enjoyed every second of it.
Right. And I mean, that's what, and I feel that because like I said, okay, you're a speaker, you're a coach, you're a realtor, you're an attorney, you're an author. I mean, and your mother. So you're juggling all of these careers and really making it happen, but spending that quality time.
Yes. Yeah. That's also been something that has been difficult.
And listen, that's great. That's great. So I want to just talk to you. When you found out you were going to become a mother, what was that feeling like? What did you do?
To be completely honest, I cried.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I found out, we had found out, that we were going to be pregnant, and I was like, okay, all right. And then when I found out it was a girl, that was when, like, I just was like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I can do this, because I doubted what I could give as a mother. I didn't know if I was capable of the amount of love that, girls are. Everybody needs love.
Yep.
The girls, it's slightly different.
Yes, it is.
I didn't know if I had that love. I was like, I have the love, but I'm just what I didn't see myself as was I've never been a really affectionate person. So I was just like that affection and the, I didn't know if that motherly instinct was going to kick in. So I was like, well, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. Yeah. So that was my initial reaction. I was totally doubting myself.
Right. And look, you've got 3 now, correct? Am I right? 3. I said it. I was correct. And so tell us about your children, because I want to show a picture of your beautiful family.
Thank you.
Tell us about your children as we show this picture.
Okay, so we have our oldest is now, she just turned 6 in April. Then Caleb over there that is smiling and kind of not blocking him, but he just turned 4. They are 1 day apart. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, 1 day apart. And then the little one is 11 months. So we
Wow.
have all different personalities. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody, even though they're one day apart, they are night and day. They're best buddies, but they are night and day.
Night and
Totally
day.
separate sides of the spectrum. So I'm
Wow.
thinking maybe the little one is going to kind of even it out, but I'm like, can we just like get a little balance? Just a little bit. Yeah.
Right, right, right. I'm telling you. And by the way, tell your husband that we said here at the Tammy Show, happy birthday.
Oh, I will tell him. I will
Yeah,
tell him.
yeah. Tell him we
That was
said
a
happy.
great follow-up from Mother's Day. We just been, I
Yes.
was like, we've been celebrating, you know. We've been celebrating like crazy over here.
That's right. So now, what are some of the similarities between you and your children?
Ooh, okay. So my daughter is me now
Mm-hmm.
times like 100.
Oh.
So I would say, so like I said, she's only 6. So it's certain things that when I know when I was 6, I didn't think the way that she thought. Like
Mm-hmm.
for me, I am a thinker. I am a thinker. I think differently now. I've always been a why person. I've always been a thinker. I've always asked questions, but the way that I dig deep now is totally different than what I did before. And so she has somehow picked up how I am now. And so she reads in between the lines. She
Oh,
is
wow.
I mean, like she can analyze, she can pick up stuff. And it's like before, she used to ask, you know, whenever you say a word that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, she would always ask, well, what does that mean? You know, what does that mean? And that has been since she could talk. And I
Mm-hmm.
would always explain to her, what does it mean? You know, exactly what it
Mm-hmm.
means. And boom, she would have it. She's using it in the sentence. But now it's where she doesn't even ask anymore. But I'll sit there and say something. And I'm like, I know you don't, you know, well, I would thought you don't know what it means. So I'm asking her, like, what does that mean? And she's like, oh, it means this. I'm like, I know you
Wow.
didn't know the actual definition, but
Right.
you just knew how I use it. And so
Mm.
you now can, I was like, okay. So some of the stuff is really, really good that
Mm-hmm.
I look at her and I'm like, wow, oh my gosh. Like if you are me, you know, at 33 in a 6-year-old body. Like that's crazy. You are
Isn't it?
light years ahead of me. But then
Mm-hmm.
it's other things that I look and I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to work on that. We're gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
she's up here.
Right.
She's in her head a lot.
Right.
And so how I said I'm working to be, she rarely is just being. She
Mm.
is really focused on like, am I doing things right? Am I doing enough? Am I doing this? Are y'all happy with me? Are you there? You know, and she's reading everybody rather than just being
Wow.
herself
Self.
and
Uh-huh.
just having fun and being that kid. Like the kid bursts out sometimes. And then
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden, she's back and she's analyzing. And I'm like, great, you know. So that's one of the things that, you know, and that's our job as
Mm-hmm.
parents. Pick
Mm-hmm.
out the different things where we are called to parent them, and that is us looking at them and saying, "Oh, they're good at this. Wow, they're really shining on this. Oh, they take a liking to this. Okay,
Right.
maybe we should get involved in more activities like this. Okay, this is something we got to watch out for. Okay, I'm just gonna let it breathe, but you know, I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
Right.
That is for us to do. That is our job.
That's
So
right.
there's different things that I picked out about all of them of just things that we need to kind of
Work
watch
on.
out for. You know, yeah, we're gonna
Right.
pump a little bit more confidence in her, you know,
Mhm.
in her, and then we're gonna watch where my son is, you know, who he surrounds himself with, and we're gonna
Mhm.
do, you know, so that's what we do. But so she is just I don't know. She's my mama. I like that's she came out the womb like that of she just bam, she got it.
Yeah.
And my son is totally different. He is, if being was a person, he
Uh-huh.
is it. He is all never analyzing. He's just him.
He
He's
just
just like
that's it. Just being him. That's right. That's
yeah.
right.
He is
Wow.
so much, you know, just like I want to have fun. I just want like everything is just I just want to do. I want to feel. I want to like I don't really care what it is that you think. I'm gonna do it anyway, kind of
Mhm.
thing. So,
Mhm.
which is great. So I learned from both of them
Mhm.
in different ways. And then there's just different things that we have to look after. And
Right.
my little one, she is just, whoo, she doesn't take any stuff already.
Really? At 11 months?
At 11 months.
Wow.
She
Wow.
she is 0 to 100. There's no in between. Either she's happy or she's
Oh,
really mad.
wow.
There's no in between. And if she doesn't care for you right now, she doesn't want you in her face. She's like, move, get out of my face. And so that's just she knows what she wants, she knows what she likes, she knows what she doesn't like, and that's it.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Personality.
we have some personalities over
Oh,
here. The drama is thick. I'm like, if one of y'all don't become an actor or actress, like, I don't know what I'm doing.
That's
one
right.
of y'all have to.
That's right. Well, listen, you've got a quote, and I'm going to quote you. Quote, motherhood is the most important job that I've held, but it's also the most difficult. So my question is, what has been your most challenging period of motherhood for you, and how have you dealt with it?
Motherhood for me was challenging because I had a picture of what life was going to be for me and how it was going to look. And so I wasn't planning to have kids, in my mind. I was just like, look, around 30, 33, 34, I don't even care. We can push it back a little bit longer. I'm good. But I didn't even want to start entertaining that until around 33, 34. So I thought in my head, I was going to be the girl living large. I've got my briefcase. I'm hopping on and off planes. I've got my penthouse. I've got, and so that was what I had thought. And so when we ended up having, expecting at first, it was like, but wait a minute. I'm not anywhere near, I'm not where I wanted to be. And we have the house, but it's not looking like, nothing is looking like, so now I've got to work extra hard. And that was my mistake of thinking that chasing something that I didn't even know wasn't something that one was placed there by me. And something that I actually wanted, and then also something that would actually benefit me. So I was holding on to it. So for the longest, I resisted. Like it was just like, oh no, because I quit my job when my daughter was 10 months. My oldest was 10 months, and left there not really having a real anything to fall back on. But I knew God had told me to leave. So I was like, okay, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. And obviously you're telling me to leave because you got something like, I'm going to be penthouse ready. Like you're going to give me some type of idea that is going to just, money is just going to be raining. Needless to say, it didn't happen. So I had left, and since that was in my head, it was like, no, I'm supposed to be having money. I'm supposed to have money. That is what I chased for years. So that was really difficult because people would say, like, oh, so you're at home with the kids? I'm like, no, I am working. Okay. I work and the kids are just here. So it was like, I fought that tooth and nail. Like you could not call me and say, I could not. I was like, no. And again, that was because of the programs that were running through my mind.
Right.
Okay, well, that means that I'm not going to be doing anything else. That means that means stuff that was completely false. So I would find myself in the same positions over and over and over again and it's just here recently that I'm letting go of that. So that was 5 years of me doing this and fighting and chasing. And so that has been the most difficult for me, of just allowing myself to, and it really, it has things to do with motherhood, but it's like if you have, it's more so my perception of what things could have been. And letting go of the perception, and mine was just, it involved motherhood. So it made motherhood that much more difficult because I was resisting it.
Wow. Wow, preconceived notions.
Yes.
The minute you said that, I was thinking, I was like, wow, you really developed those type of notions. And I feel you because I wasn't going to have children. I only have one daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't going to have children. And then Catherine came about, single mom, and I'm like, uh-oh, what am I going to
Okay.
do? Same thing.
Yeah.
Those preconceived notions that we have built up through the years of what
Mm-hmm.
motherhood was all about and how we were to deal with motherhood. So I want to talk to you about your mother. Tell us a little bit about your mother and what's your most memorable, the most memorable occasion that you have or had with your mother.
So my mom is uh is is a lot where I get, I mean, I get a lot of stuff from her. I'm sitting here looking, I'm like, I get a lot. Uh she I don't even know how to describe it, but it's a lot of things that I've learned from her, and a lot of characteristics that I've taken from
Mm-hmm.
her that still to this day are here and are like the basis of where I am. But one of the things that really stood out, it's not when I was a kid, but it was actually when I was grown, and I was on the verge of quitting my job.
Mm.
And I remember when I was in the car with her and we were just talking because I had already told my father, I had told, my husband and I had already had the conversation and he was on board as soon as I told him. He was like, all right, well, God is leading you, let's go. Yeah, I believe in you. So he was, he's like always on my team. But then it felt like nobody else was. And so I had talked to my brother. He was like, you're tripping. My father hung up on me. He was like, yeah. And then so I was talking to my mother and she was just like, look, you just got to do what's best for you.
Mm.
If that's what you're doing, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And so I'm just like, what? Like, okay. So it was like the voice of reason and just how she doesn't seem to she doesn't get caught up in stuff a lot. It's like
Mm-hmm.
she's very logical
Mm.
when it comes to different things of like moving and stepping out and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So I really appreciated that because that came at a time that I needed it. Yeah.
Mm. Wow. And so as far as how your mother, what is the one lesson that you would say you learned from your mother? I know you learn a lot from her, but what's one lesson you learned from your mother that you are taking into raising your children now?
One of the lessons in raising kids.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Supporting them. Yeah. Supporting what it is that they want to do and giving them a voice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Encouraging, supporting,
Mm-hmm.
encouraging them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, because you just said it. You're like some mothers are really really supportive to the point that they say, "Okay, you go for it. If that's what you
Yeah.
want to do, then you go for it. Don't
Yeah.
listen to anybody else. You do you."
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, because some parents, especially when they come from the old school, they don't think like that. That's why your daddy hung
Yeah.
up on
Yeah,
you.
it's like, don't you know you have kids? You have a kid, like you have a whole house. You have are you
Yeah.
serious? Okay,
Yeah, that's
no.
why your father hung up on you.
Yeah.
Now, and so I'm going to segue into your work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about, and you're on everything right now. And how do you balance that and taking care of your family?
Before it wasn't too good. I sacrificed a lot in terms of time. And there was a lot that came from it. And as far as things just crumbling down, like, I should have done, okay, and then you see it, and when it's starting to crumble, and you're like, oh my gosh. So, my marriage, the relationship with my kids, like all of that stuff, and just being present because I would be there, but I wasn't there. My mind wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still something that I'm working on, because the thing is that once you develop a habit, you have to now knock that habit out by developing another habit.
That's right.
So it's not something that you can just step up. I mean, after years of doing this, just like, okay, well, I'm going to be present. Yes, I am. And that's what I thought. I thought that you just turn it on, and then when I wasn't, I would get mad. Or if I reverted to where I'm on my phone, or I am checking emails, or I'm doing work, or whatever it is, and my kids are asking, can you play with me this? And it's like, okay, I'm doing this. Like I would sit there, and at night I would sit there and beat myself up of like, all you had to do was take 15 minutes. Like, you didn't even have, just cut it off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I not getting it? And this is when we've got to start extending grace to ourselves and understanding that this is something that has been long-standing. And that's what I had to tell myself. And changing that habit is going to be something. Now you're aware of it. You're aware of it. That's good. That's good. Because before you were just doing it,
That's
and
right.
then you found out years later. But now you're aware of it, and it's pulling at you. Something's tugging at you. Good. Now we just have to go through with it. When things are tugging, just stop. Just put it down. So now I've gotten in the habit of where I leave my phone. I'll leave it in my purse. I'll leave it in my purse. I'll leave it away from me, because I just have the habit of just picking it up and I'm checking stuff. And then I get drawn in and I'm doing something. So I just leave it alone. And then as far as time, I really just schedule everything around them now. So I adopted more of the stay-at-home mom rather than everything else first. So it's in that came with basically God shutting everything down. Just like, no. And that's really where I am right now. I'm just like, I don't want you to do anything. Nope. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing. So I literally have spent this entire year nothing. So that's where I am. And I've understood where my focus needs to be. So now I am shifting. And so just balancing that, just honoring the time, putting things first, prioritizing.
And one of those things, and I'm glad that you said that, because I've been, like I said, listening to you. And when you talk about being a mindset and transformational life coach, you are not only speaking to someone about it, but you are actually living it as you are coaching.
Right.
And I love that about you. I do have a clip that I want to show. And we just thought it was the coolest thing. The producers were in here. They were like, oh yeah, I like that. I like that.
Oh,
So
okay.
do you mind? We're going to show this clip. You're going to see what it is, what we picked.
If you don't want it to come to pass, don't ask. And what I mean by that is you gotta watch your mouth. Watch what you are putting out into the atmosphere. When you speak, that is the equivalent of you asking for that thing to happen. So if we're sitting there saying, man, I don't even know why I'm trying, that ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. It never works. Oh man, another day, some more problems. When you are saying that, whatever it is that you're saying, it's like you're asking for more of it. So you can't be upset when more of what you don't want comes your way. When every time that you look up, that's what you're saying. You've got to understand the magnitude of your words and how powerful you are. The Bible doesn't say death and life are in the power of the tongue for no reason. There is power in the words that you say. So you've got to be careful what you are putting out. Only put out what you want to receive back.
All right. Wow. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We were in here talking about that because, as you're saying, words have a lot to do with how we transform. And just like Shanine said earlier, she did affirmations with her children each and every day. And now look at them. They're grown and doing well and believing in themselves. So I want to ask you about advice, because you are so good with being open and transparent. What advice would you give new mothers now, or any mother that's watching the show?
pay attention to your kids. And I made a mistake saying giving them a voice because they have a voice. It's actually listening to them and not just blowing. Because I've seen parents where they blow it off because they're young. Oh, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, yeah, you're feeling this, but it's all right. You'll be all right. But really honoring what it is that they feel, the same way that you would want someone to honor you. I don't care whether it's a kindergartner or a first grader talking about, their boyfriend. Oh my gosh. You know how you have those little kindergarten, first grade relationships. You're like, girl, bye, boy, bye. But they're hurt in that moment. And it's okay. It's okay. This is something that they experience. You don't have to sit there and say, well, it's going to be plenty more. Honey, that doesn't even matter. It matters to them.
That's
so
right.
Just acknowledging that. And I literally just had a conversation with my daughter. And I speak to my kids like this. Like we talk like this. I explain my feelings. She explains hers. He explains his. I honor them. I see them. I feel them. I hear them. So we were talking. We were just laying up on the bed. She said she wanted to have a girl sleepover. So we just, we were upstairs in the bed. We just chatted. And I said, well, baby, can I ask you something? She's like, yes, mommy, you can ask me something. So she's getting all happy. She loves when I ask her questions. I don't know. But she's getting all happy. And I'm like, well, sweetie, would you tell me if anything is wrong? If you were angry, even if it's something that mommy and daddy said that hurt your feelings, would you tell us? She said, yes, I tell you everything. I said, okay. I just want to make sure that you know that this is our job. Our job is to be here to support you and to encourage you. So we're here for you, whatever it is that you need. So just doing that and not just saying it, but taking action behind that. The relationship that develops from it is just amazing. So that's one thing that I would say.
One thing and I love it. Wow. One thing that you would say, and everybody needs to pay attention to that because it is important for us to listen to our children, especially now because they see everything. It's everything's digital, everything's television, everything's this. So I appreciate that. Listen, we are running out of time, Christina. And I just want to thank you because I know you were on a big meeting and trying to get here. And thank you so much. But I want to ask you 3 words that describe Christina.
Powerful, peaceful, and prosperous.
Peaceful and prosperous. I love it. I love that. Yes, ma'am. Powerful, peaceful, and prosperous. The 3 P's.
Yes.
Well, listen, Christina, thank you so much for being on this show. May God continue to bless you in everything that you're doing. And I'm going to continue to watch you. I'm one of your biggest fans. So I'm going to continue to watch you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Take care, Christina.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. Well, when we talk about Christina being with us, and I tell you what, fabulous woman. You've got to check out her all of her handles, and we had them all on. And I want to thank her. I also want to thank Shanine for being on the show and with the interview, the gospel artist from LA, just doing it what she's doing. And of course, Poetic Angel. I always have to thank my producers, Tiana, Willie, and Felicia, and also Alicia, the executive producer. I want to thank you all so much. Next week, we're going to be talking with Tony Gilliard, another miracle mother. But let me tell you something about her. She's going to be on today's show coming up very soon. And so you're going to hear all about that. But I want you to please subscribe to the Tammy TV show. That's on YouTube. It's the Tammy TV show. Please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget about us. Hit that subscribe button. And we just love to hear from you. If you want your mother featured, please send the information to info@TammyMcCaughtry.com. That's info@TammyMcCaughtry.com. We'd love to feature your miracle mother as well. Until the next time, take care of yourself. Thank you again, viewers, for joining the show. And thank you to my guests. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Love you much. Bye-bye.